Coming up today, we were super close to that 6,000 level, but then shortly sold off right after that. We got stocks looking a little bit worse, like Nvidia, Apple, and we got bad news with the Broadcom earnings. We got some newfound beef coming up with Trump and Elon Musk that we're going to be talking about a lot today. We got key data coming out an hour before market opens that is very, very important and can move the market up or down. We got an update on the secret Zen stock, Philip Morris. I'm currently Zen'd out myself. We got a lot to talk about today. Let's get started with the video, some supports and resistance, and some stocks to watch towards the end of the video. You guys don't want to miss it. Let's get started. This is for people who want to take their trading to the next level. I made an option course PDF. Go check it out. It can help you become profitable and you will make your money back within your first trading day. So first off, let's talk about the beef between Elon Musk and President Trump. A lot of people are talking about this and a lot of people already talked about this, but yesterday we seen a little bit more come out. Trump did come out yesterday, basically agreeing to everything that is going on, because before Trump didn't really say anything on the topic and even agree that Elon Musk said anything. And shortly after, there was a big argument on X, kind of going back and forth with posts. So let's start all the way back to 2016, because we got to start from the top. Before 2016, the presidential election, Elon Musk was openly critical of Trump's candidacy. In an interview with CNBC, Musk stated that Trump was not the right guy for president, citing that concerns about his character and his reflection on the United States. Musk expressed support for Hillary Clinton's economic and environment policies at the time. Despite this, after Trump's election victory, he appointed Musk to 2 economic advisory councils, though it was not yet personal. So in 2017, advisory role and resignation. Musk joined Trump's economic advisory councils in January 2017. However, tensions arose when Trump announced the U.S. withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement. Musk, a strong advocate for clean energy, resigned from the council in protest, highlighting a significant early rift. So now in 2020, mixed signals during the pandemic. During the early stages of COVID-19 pandemic, Musk clashed with California public health and officials over Tesla factory shutdowns. Trump publicly supported Musk, praising his defiance and calling him one of our greatest geniuses, likening him to Thomas Edison. This was a rare moment of alignment driven by shared frustration with government restrictions. Now let's talk about 2022 to 2024. So by 2022, Musk began moving away from his previously a political or Democratic leaning stance. He announced on X that he will no longer support Democrats, citing their shift towards division and hate, and expressed intent to vote Republican. Initially, Musk backed Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for 2024 GOP primary, hosting DeSantis' campaign announcement on X in May 2023. However, as DeSantis' campaign faltered, Musk pivoted to Trump. So July 2024, endorsement after the assassination attempt. Musk's formal endorsement of Trump came on July 13, 2024, shortly after assassination attempt on Trump rally in Butler. Musk posted on X, "I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery," marking a turning point in their relationship. Musk became a major financial backer, reportedly donated over $200 million to pro-Trump supers, including $288 million in his American PAC, which supported Trump's campaign. So after that, he mainly just supported the public appearance. Musk became a prominent figure in Trump's 2024 campaign, organizing town halls, fielding voters' questions, and appealing at rallies. Basically, just joining his rallies and supporting the overall campaign. Trump came out on the live stream basically saying that Musk didn't really help out his campaigns, and that kind of rallied a little bit of hate, you know? So now let's talk about the 2024, early 2025, the bromance that everybody's talking about, and the Doge and the White House influence. So on November 2024, Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. So on November 12th, 2024, Trump announced that Musk will basically lead in Doge, a task force aimed at slashing federal spending. Musk was granted broad authority to propose cuts, including a 75% reduction in federal workforce and the elimination of agencies like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And then they had a personal friendship. The relationship extended beyond politics. Musk was described as camping out at the White House, honestly staying at the White House, and engaging in late night talks with Trump over ice cream. Trump jokingly told NBC News that Elon won't go home. I can't get rid of him. You can only imagine saying that in his accent. So now early 2025, cracks in the relationship. So now we're talking about the emerging tensions. So in March 2025, he had some policy disagreements. Tensions surfaced over Trump's tariff policies, which sparked market volatility and impacted Musk's business, particularly Tesla's reliance on Chinese imports. Musk publicly criticized Trump's trade counsel, Peter Navarro, calling him a moron and advocating for zero tariffs, a stance at odds with Trump's aggression trade war. Another point of attention was Trump's refusal to share Pentagon war plans with Musk, which Steve Bannon cited as a moment when the fever broke in their relationship. There's some other things like the NASA administration dispute. And then now recently, man, we seen the departure from Doge. It honestly didn't really go well. He got punched in the face. A lot of things happened, So now the breakup. So dispute over the big, beautiful bill. And that was the final straw. And now we're going to be talking about the escalation on social media. The feud escalated rapidly on June 5th, 2025, with both men trading insults on their respective platforms. So, Truth Social and X. So Trump accused Musk of being hostile after leaving the White House and threatened to cut $1 billion in federal subsidies and contracts for Tesla and SpaceX. He claimed that he had fired Musk and that Musk was upset over the loss of EV mandate. Musk fired back, asserting, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Deems would have controlled the White House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate." He called Trump's firing claim an obvious lie and, without evidence, alleged Trump's name appearance in Jeffrey Epstein's documents, which is kind of insane. We have no reply back after that, though, so keep that in mind. And basically saying that's why they were unreleased. Musk also floated the idea of bankrolling new political parties and shared a post calling for Trump's impeachment. So honestly, man, the relationship is falling and there's a lot of beef between both of them. Thus making us cut to a segment. I told you guys before, man, it is looking bearish overall for Tesla. But now, if you guys would have traded Tesla yesterday, you would have made a bunch of money and it fell a decent amount. Where are we at now? So we did indeed break a key level of 287.20 in after hours, but honestly, pre-market, you want to see where it lands at, because if we land below this level, we can probably go down even more, make a decent amount of money to the downside. And honestly, this beef is probably just now starting and it's going to keep on continuing unless maybe they make up, but that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be back and forth hate between the both of the parties. So keep this in mind overall for Tesla. We did fall a decent amount. And for the overall market, I don't think this made the whole market fall, but honestly, the market isn't really looking too good overall. But with that out of the way, let's talk about overall news. So let's talk about Broadcom first, because Broadcom, oh my God, it looks horrible. But they beat their surprise and they beat their earnings and their revenue basically, but just going down even more. So Broadcom earnings reported strong quarterly earnings with AI revenue surging 77% to 4.1 billion. The company projected second quarter revenue of 14.9 billion, slightly above analyst expectations of 14.8 billion. Shares jumped 9% in extended trading, potentially boosting sentiment in semiconductor and AI related sectors. But we did see it fall. It did go up, it did go down. I think it went down first and then went up. Let me see. Yeah, it went down first, went back up, and then went down, and it just shortly fell after that. And we did have some other key stocks like Nvidia fall after this, and just honestly not really looking too good for this chip sector overall. So keep that in mind. We did get some good news yesterday, though. Trade talk developments. So reports of a phone call between President Trump and Chinese President Xi surfaced, with Chinese media noting Trump's request the call. And this led to initial gains in stock futures, which later faded as detail remained scarce, contributed to volatility in after hours trading. But we did get Trump come out and even some good news on China's side saying that the talks were good. Economic data reaction, weaker than expected economic data earlier that day, including jobless claims hitting an 8-month high, and a slowdown in services sector activity continued to influence after hour sentiment. This raised concerns about economic growth, potentially pressuring risk assets. Market movers yesterday, so major indices. So the S&P 500 fell 0.5%. The NASDAQ dropped 0.8%, reflecting a cautious market mood. The Dow was down 0.22%, reflecting relative resilience. ADP employment report, weaker than expected. Private payroll growth signaled potential softening in the labor market. ISM services PMI, the services sector contracted, with layoffs increasing significantly, adding fears to the economic slowdown. Jobless claims, initial jobless claims hit a 1-month high, further dampening investors' confidence. The PCE price index with a month-over-month increase of 0.1%, of 0.1% in line with estimates, and a year-over-year rate of 2.1%, 0.1% below expectations, the lowest this year. This supported expectations of stable inflation, but didn't fully offset labor market concerns. Keep that in mind overall for today. We do have the U.S. employment report, U.S. unemployment rate, U.S. hourly wages year over year, all 1 hour before market open. We have consumer credit 1 hour before market closes, and we do have a speech at 10 a.m., which is like 30 minutes after market opens. So keep that in mind overall for the stock market today. So now on to the moment that everybody likes, and that is the supports and resistance for certain stocks and what to watch for today. So the overall SPY, let's look at this. We might be able to retest that 600 level. We didn't get to break it, of course, but honestly, maybe not today. We might even continue to the downside, or we might break up. So to the upside, look at 195, 196.5, 197.5, 198.5, 199, and all the way up to 199.5. And maybe we could test that 600, but we just need great news for that overall. We did get some great news with trade talks and stuff like that, but just not good enough to break that 600 level. To the downside, look at 592.5. 591.5 and that 590 level. If you break below that, look at 598.5 and then all the way down to that 585 level. So next is going to be Apple, because trade war does affect Apple. They do have that 25% tariff. And honestly, I think that's going to stay no matter what happens, unless we do get some good news overall. So to the downside, look at that 200 level, 199.5, 199, 198.5, and all the way down to that 195 level. To the upside, look at 201.5, 202, 202.5, 203.5, 205, and that 210 level for Apple overall. NVIDIA, man, we had a decent move all the way up to that 144 level. So honestly, if we could break above that, 145, and then 150 next. But from here, look at 140 flat. If we could break above that, 141.5, 143. To the downside, if we keep falling, look at 138.5, 137.5, and that 135 level for NVIDIA overall. We didn't really get two good movements with Broadcom overall, so look at NVIDIA to the downside. Next one is going to be Tesla. Tesla is not looking too good, especially with this beef going on. So look at 260, 265, or 255, 250 flat, and this is going to be a key level if we break below 250. Look at 240, 235, and then all the way down to that 230 level for Tesla. If we start going back up, look at 290, and that 300 level is going to be key if we break above that. 305, 310, 320, and then all the way up to that 350 level. But I don't think we'll see at 350 level unless, you know, this beef doesn't occur no more. Bitcoin did fall a decent amount. We did come back up a little bit, but honestly, we fell all the way down to that $100,000 level. We didn't break below that. Luckily, it held strong. So honestly, look at it to the upside for now. But if we start falling again, look at that 100K level once again. Some good stocks to trade with that would be MSTR, Coinbase. And if you guys don't want to risk too much money, IBIT options is a good move. I do recommend getting into this depending on how Bitcoin does move. I don't know if I'll hold it over the weekend just because it moves weird, and honestly, you might wake up to no money. That being said, some stocks to watch and some plays to make. So I do recommend all these stocks. Look for it after market opens, see how it moves, trade based on that. But for now, NVIDIA, look at NVIDIA to the downside. We are looking more on the downside level. So look at NVIDIA on the downside for now, unless we make a move back up to the upside and fill some gaps up. We do got some gaps to fill all the way up to that 145 level, so keep that in mind. But if we start selling off, this is a good play to make to the downside. Next one is going to be Tesla, and this one is to the downside. Unless we start moving up a decent amount. Once Tesla moves, it's going to move in one direction for a while, and then it makes a bounce. So honestly, depending on how Tesla moves right now, I'm looking at it to the downside. Next one's going to be Palantir. We had some good news with Palantir overall. We did hit like 132 like yesterday. But honestly, Palantir has been kind of losing some steam, going to the downside. So I do recommend looking at it to the downside for now, but it might be able to rebound back up because honestly, Palantir normally gets back up to that 130 level. So we might see it go back up to that 130 level. And then next is going to be IBIT, just because Bitcoin is at a decent level where it can either make or break. So either a lot of buyers are going to come in or a lot of sellers. So honestly, take your time, have your patience, but these are some plays to watch overall. With that being said, man, the overall market isn't really looking too bad. We are looking like we're getting a little bit of a sell-off, but it's healthy in this market right now. So keep that in mind. Don't be too scared, but smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.